Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm here again with Uncle Ed, sharing his business knowledge and advice. So, a lot of salespeople out there have trouble reaching, we hear this term decision makers. And how do I reach the decision makers? So, in your opinion, whether the salespeople or people that are just trying to talk to successful people in business or in life, how can you find those people? How do you reach those people? What are some of the ways that you were able to reach successful people really before you became so successful?
Oh God. Okay, another Uncle Ed story. Hang in there. Okay, when I was beginning my company, I couldn't afford going to the big conventions. I couldn't afford a location, a booth that was $2,000, $3,000. I couldn't stay at the nice hotel. I stayed 8 blocks away at the Days Inn for $50 a night. But what I would do is I'd get there like 6:30 in the morning, the big hotel that all the big shots were, and I'd ride up and down the elevators. I swear to God, I'd spend 2 hours in the elevator. I'd get in, I'd get out, I'd get in, I'd get out, and I'd run into the big shots. And I'd start some sort of bullshit conversation. Hey, I haven't had the breakfast yet, what it's like. Oh, really? Okay. Hey, aren't you George? Yeah, okay, good, boom, 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 boom. I get their number, I get their card. And I'd call them up and I go, hey, remember we met at the elevator? Oh yeah! It was so much easier to get their number there than when they're walking around the trade shows being the shit with eight people behind them, kissing their ass and everybody wanting their attention. It's just me and another guy taking a piss in the bathroom kind of shit. And it was very sneaky, But I got a lot of business that way. So a lot of times you got to be creative. Same as the gatekeepers, the girl up front. Now I'm talking about the old door knocking sales, The internet's a lot different. But I still think if an account's big enough, you got a massive account that you want. Sending him, here's another story. I'm coaching this girl and she's after this big,
Co-working space.
Co-working space. The guy's building this big one. Big guy, big thing for her. Big thing. And she's sending him crap on LinkedIn, and she's sending him stuff on wherever she's sending an email, no response. I said, you got to get off your ass and go to the location. Find out what the guy looks like, or what he drives, and just keep going there. So there he is. She drives over there, and she sees him. Now this is like the typical millennial. No face-to-face contact with another human being, They're in the basement doing this, I'm gonna get rich. I'm gonna email, I'm gonna LinkedIn, I'm gonna send a lot of likes out. It's completely out of her realm, completely out of her safety zone. And she sees him. And he's walking around. And she says, what would Ed do? Ed would say, freak it, go over there and talk to him. But first she made sure she knew a lot about his company. So she goes, hi, I'm Jay. I heard so much. I heard you've been working on this project for 6 months. And he goes, oh really? Yeah, and I emailed, I kind of remember. And he gave her a whole tour. Spent an hour with her, showing him this and going in the elevator and talking about construction. And well, he wound up getting the numbers and now they're buddies and she got the deal. If you want a big deal, you got to go out of your way for it. Same as the girls up front, the gatekeepers. My mom was a gatekeeper for the president of Warner Brothers Music. She was a big, classy woman, my mother. Real corporate executive. She was attractive, but she was, let's say, mid-40s, early 50s. Classy woman, my mother. Tough as nails. If she said, you don't need to see this guy, the president of Warner Brothers didn't see you. You were gone. If you badmouthed her and you had a contract, because you know what he said to me? You're gone. At the same time, if she liked you, because he's a nice kid, you ought to give him a minute or two. And sure enough, so these gatekeepers, I don't care how low you think they are. The girl up front, you gotta bring her a flower. One rose. What's this? I don't know, I didn't see a rose on your desk. I felt bad. So I thought I'd buy you a rose. I drove 40 miles out of the way and actually stole it from an old lady's flower bed. You know, you give her a cute story. You go, you did. Oh, yes, I did. You did. Yes, you did. Hey, by the way, what's George like? Oh, he's a nice guy. And then you get information from her. And you go, can you do me a big favor? I'll be your best friend forever and ever. Can you give my card to George and see if he can see me? He can't see you now. You sure? She said, if I was you, I wouldn't bother him right now. Can you give him my card at least? Yeah. What's a good time to talk to George? Well, usually he's here like 7:30 in the morning before everybody comes in. That's a great time. Okay, thank you, dear. I'm going to bring you another rose next time. So now you know 7:30 is the time to see George. The girl isn't even up front yet. I've had that exact situation where I'm walking around, a guy said, hey, we're not open yet. Or, you know, I said, well, I'm here to see you. I hear you're here at 7:30 in the morning. You're like me. We're both early birds. All right, come in and talk to me. You know, I really don't have time. I said, listen, it's 7:30 in the morning. Can you give me 5 minutes? And then you'll kick me out and you'll never see me again if you don't want to give me another minute after 5 minutes. You have to understand these super honchos are human beings. And the more you treat them like human beings, the more they like you. Nothing's worse than talking to a guy like that and go, Mr. Johnson, we can have a real win-win situation. He don't want to hear that shit. He hears that. He's not that kind of guy. So, Mr. Johnson, I come here every day. You got to give me 5 minutes. I promise you, if you don't like my 5 minutes, you'll never see me again. Maybe. So those are some of the ways of also learning about the guy. So let's go to the internet. Okay, let's talk about LinkedIn or something like that, or somehow. First thing I would do is become friends with some of the other people in this company, lower than, and work your way up from receptionist to supervisor, this and that. And you learn, you might say, look on social media what this guy likes to do. He might like to hunt. He might like dogs. So what do? You post what he likes. You post that he just had a baby. Oh, my cousin just had a baby here. Oh, looky. And he'll start engaging with you. And you start engaging with him. That's the way. But going right up to these guys like that, or all the other, anyway, that's the way I do it. I'm a sneaky son of a bitch, what can I say? But I get paid, and that's all that counts, you know. All I care about is stacking cash. Being sneaky, yeah, so you're sneaky. You want to get paid, you want to stack cash, or you want to be one of these guys. That's my take on that.